Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Chemical Guy's Wet Butter Wax.
Lil guns down, Lil guns down, Lil guns down in the ground. Lil guns down, boy, or I will lay you down. Say your last prayer, and don't look back here no more. The Lord can't help you, you've gone too far for sure. I'm on the highway, hitting kinda loud, singing all the time.
Okay, so Butter Wet Wax from Chemical Guys. The first thing to say about this product, okay, is it is a sexy name, okay? Butter Wet Wax, deep wet shine is how they describe the product on the label. And that is the thing that drew me as a consumer to the product initially. Let's just get the basics covered first with this product, guys. The price. So you can pick this product anywhere from about sort of 16 to 17 pounds seems to be a good retail range, and that's without delivery. When you throw in the delivery on top, you're typically paying 20 to 21 pounds for it. We will include, as always, a link in the description where you can go and buy this product. So the description of this product from the manufacturer: Butter Wet Wax is a perfect way to give your paintwork a deep wet shine. Our special blend of polymers, resins and natural carnauba is designed to enhance and protect any colour paintwork. Butter Wet Wax is easy on, easy off for a quick application in minutes. Natural carnauba delivers fantastic surface gloss to any colour. Carnauba wax protects your paintworks by creating a protective layer that repels water. Butter Wet Wax protects your vehicle's paintwork against fading and oxidisation by blocking UV solar rays. We only use the highest quality carnauba wax, etc. Butter Wet Wax is the true definition of shine. So that's how they describe a product, I think. Now, with wax-based emulsions, what you do is you add an agent, an emulsifier, which allows your wax blend, if you like, to then be incorporated to products which don't normally mix. So that's what an emulsifier does. It allows two components to be mixed together that normally would not mix and would separate. So in this instance, I believe, or in most wax emulsions, the ingredient that they're wanting to put into the product is water, okay? So the emulsifier allows your wax emulsion to then be mixed with water, and you create a more liquid or fluid paste type products. And that gives you some advantages and disadvantages we're going to discuss next. Okay, so application and removal. When you go to use this product for the first time and you kind of squirt it out the bottle onto your applicator, the first thing you will notice is the consistency of the product, okay? So it's kind of like a looser gel, like a shiny kind of cream almost, a thick cream. And that is part of the fact that it's a wax emulsion rather than a pure paste wax. In practical terms, what that allows you to do is spread the product over your bonnet quite quickly. The difference being with most paste waxes, there's a much higher concentration, or a higher concentration of wax and carrier oil and solvent, which is a much thicker, harder product to work. So you kind of get that waxy feel, that waxy drag when you're applying a paste wax. With this, you get a much kind of freer, looser application, which means you can get it onto the panel quicker. The second thing on application, there is no cure time. So Chemical Guys describe it as a wax on, wax off, or wipe on, wipe off product. And you can use it that way, but I suggest you just give it like a minute. You know, if you're not out in the blistering heat and your car's not hot, just give it a minute to haze up. And I find that actually helps remove the product. If the product's still wet and loose on the panel, you'll be moving it around a little bit more rather than kind of scooping it all up. So I do, like I say, recommend you just give it a few moments, 30 seconds to a minute, to haze up and bite in, and then buffing it off will actually be easier and you'll get better results. So what's it like to remove? Now, one of the problems with paste waxes, they can be very heavy and draggy to remove, and sometimes when they are, I veer away from using the really nice fine kind of plush microfiber in favour for something that's a bit of a shorter pile, that's got a bit more bite. With this product, you don't need to use that. You can use your softest, most kind of fluffy, dense, open pole microfiber, and it will easily cope with removing this product. So when chemical guys describe the product as an easy on and off formula, you know, they deserve credit for doing that. It is very, very easy to use. Not much can go wrong. It doesn't smear, it doesn't streak, and it lifts off of the paint really nice. And that is the first thing when I was filming this with Reg. He was helping me with the camera work, and he was loving the product, okay?
I think it's a great product, easy to apply and instant shine. So it's a yes from me.
Is how easily it buffs back away. That haze just comes away so well. So yeah, top marks there. I mean, there is when you sort of review products, sometimes application and removal can be an area where you kind of try and give products credit for because there's nothing else good to say about them. But in this instance with chemical guys, the easy on and off formula is fantastic. Okay, so the first downside of this product, guys, and again, this product is something which I see getting a lot of negative press, okay? And the thing about it that people pick up on is that the durability of this product and, you know, how long it lasts after you've applied it and those protective qualities, how long they last. And it gets a lot of stick for not being durable. So that criticism is actually accurate, okay? This product, in my opinion and my experience of using it, is not a high durability, long-lasting product, okay? That you should be using if your primary interest is kind of protection, water repellency, and a long-lasting kind of, you know, barrier on your car to stop kind of, you know, dirt and environmental contaminants getting on the paintwork. If that is what you're interested in from a kind of wax product or a sealant, then Chemical Guy's Butter Wet Wax isn't a product you should be reaching for. So the next question is why? Because Chemical Guy's kind of, if you read the description of the product, you could come away with the impression that this product is all you need for your kind of car care in terms of protection and shine. And like I say, it isn't. The main reason is when you add an emulsifier into a kind of wax blend to typically bulk it out with water, okay? And there's some advantages we're going to talk about a bit later on of why that's cool. It's not all doom and gloom. But when you add that emulsifier, what you do is so wax and water typically will not mix, and if you put the two together, they'll be separate, okay? They will not mix. The emulsifier allows the water and the wax to mix together. So the number one downside of any wax emulsion product or a wax blend with an emulsifier in it is that wax, its ability to kind of repel and resist and not mix with water is slightly compromised. And therefore, when your car is outside in the environment and it's getting rained on and you're washing the car, the resistance of the product to that water is reduced and the product quite simply will wash away quicker. And that is the number one reason why I believe you do not get long durability from the Butter Wet Wax product. So we've covered the product's main weakness, or the main area where it gets criticised, and that is around the durability and the ability for the product to last and survive kind of weathering and what various wash cycles, okay? So my opinion of that is that criticism is fair, but it's nature of the beast, and it's the nature of this type of product, in my opinion. Okay, so the product does not last long, and I think, like I said, you'd be lucky to get a month out of this, and if it's outside in the environment getting rained on and you're washing it a lot, the product will disappear pretty quickly. So the flip side and the positive to that negative side of perhaps less kind of weathering and kind of resistance to kind of washing that you'll get with an emulsion. The flip side, or the positive, for me, is the fact this product generally will contain a lot less solvent than a typical paste wax, which could be 45 or maybe up to 60% solvent, and typically a mineral spirit based solvent. Is that high concentration of paste wax combined with potentially longer cure times of leaving them on the panels for sort of like 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes even longer, mean that the risk of your top coat, we'll refer to these as top coat type products if you like, the risk of that product you're being used as a top coat compromising what's underneath it is reduced, okay? Now this is a very complicated subject matter, and even that statement I've just made there is vague because the actual kind of results will vary depending on what products you're using and how long those products are left to act. So there's 1,000,001 variables, and it could be a really interesting discussion, and I do see it get kind of discussed a fair bit, layering. But for me, I'm of the opinion that certain, if we call them base products, okay, typically sealants, but you also get hybrid waxes that are really durable, that you can use as kind of, you know, you can use as your base coats that are they have the durability and the protective capabilities to last that long. You know, I'm thinking of your kind of colonites, you know, your double speed waxes, as well as all your traditional kind of paste sealants, and now your new range of kind of water delivered, water based siloxanes that last as well. But I'm of the opinion that those products are compromised by putting solvents on them. But the honest answer is I'm not sure by how much. And it varies from format to format, okay? So you'd have to understand, you'd have to really get into the chemistry to understand like the chemical resistance of product X, which is an acrylic-based sealant, versus the solvent resistance of product Y, which is a polyxylazane sealant or something like that. You know what I mean? So it gets very complicated. But the key point I want to get across is that sometimes high solvent paste waxes, when left to kind of sit on cars for that solvent to vaporise and leave the kind of drier cured wax behind, in my opinion, that can compromise the base coat that you've used below. And that is one of the big advantages of using a wax-based emulsion and using this Chemical Guys Butter Wet Wax. This product contains a lower amount of solvent. I think the SDS suggests it's somewhere between 10% to 20% solvent blend of mineral spirits and isoparaffin. So maybe a total roughly around 20%. Now I'm guessing, it doesn't say the water-based content. I'm trying to clarify that with Chemical Guys. I'm guessing it's got around about 40% water in it, if it is a water-based emulsion. I'm assuming it is, but it's an emulsion of some sort. So your solvent quantity in this is a lot lower concentration, okay? And the fact that you put the product on and wipe it off immediately means that overall, whatever base coat you've got underneath is getting less exposed to a kind of higher concentration of solvent than you could get when you use other products. So the very long way to get a very short point across is this product makes an excellent topper that you can apply very quickly and remove very easily, and I find doesn't compromise whatever base sealant or protective coating you've got on your car. That is its number one, its number two kind of selling point for me, okay? We'll talk about what number one is now. Its number one attribute. So I gave it a minor amount of stick, or Chemical Guys a little bit of stick for perhaps, and they're all guilty of it, so it's perhaps a bit fair, but we're keeping it real. Perhaps from reading the description of the product, you think you've got a product here which does everything. You don't need anything else, and that's not the case. That's not the case with any product, okay? There's all compromises. So we know it doesn't last particularly long as its major Achilles heel, but we know, or I'm suggesting, it makes a very good topper type product because of the fact that it is an emulsion. It doesn't compromise the coating as much that's underneath. Its number one attribute though, and it's what Chemical Guys push the most on the product, and that is the finish. It's deep wet shine. It absolutely, for me, delivers on that. So I'm filming this video, and sometimes when I'm filming the video and I'm applying products, I'm trying to film myself, I enlist the help of my budget cameraman Reg, who comes around and we have a chat and he films me, with his shaky hands, the old, Bodgett and Scarpa Productions. It really is. But anyway, Reg came around and gave me a hand with this. And he'd seen this product before and he was never impressed with it for the same reason, the durability. But just from filming the video, okay, and seeing the product go on the car and the results when it came off, his opinion on the product kind of went from it's rubbish to I'm getting some, okay? And that is why another reason why I love butter wet wax. It's so easy to use. When you buff it away, it just comes off the microfiber to reveal that finish. And the finish for me is deep and it is wet. And it is a great summer kind of finish where I'm less interested in having a product which has all this resistance to weathering, is throwing water off the car and doing beading or pooling or whatever, you know, it seems to be the latest phase. And sometimes you just want your car looking really, really shiny, okay? And that is why I'm featuring this, because this product delivers on it for me, and we were able to get round and apply it on the car in probably less than 5 minutes, and that's with him following me around trying to get the bloody camera in focus. So if I didn't have to film it, I could have got round the car even quicker. And when you wheel the car out of the garage and you kind of look back at it, the results are there to be seen. So the final kind of summary and opinion and conclusions on Chemical Guy's butter wet wax. Okay, so I'm always kind of wary when I do these videos. I want to be fair and I want to really get across what I think about the product, and I think I've done that. I'm pretty sure I've done that. The number one thing is the product does have an Achilles heel around durability. It would be fantastic if it delivered on everything it said, and on top of that, the product lasted for months and months and months and months and months. It doesn't, okay, and it's like I've mentioned, its ability to withstand weathering and wash cycles is poor, and the product does not last long. The compromise to that is that the gloss that this product delivers on your car is fantastic, okay? It is a wet look. It's a lovely kind of show car summer product for that reason. The second thing is they talk about an easy on-off formula, and it is spot on. It is one of the best kind of it's one of the kind of best wax-based products in terms of ease of use. Nothing really can go wrong unless you kind of go away, leave it outside in the heat for 2 weeks before you buff it off. And I don't know what will happen if you do that, but I can't see anything going wrong with this. And the number one thing you will find if you've not used it before and you go and buy it as a result of this is you will see how easy it is to remove the product and the clear shine that's left as you trail the microfiber over the kind of hazy product. The final thing, and it's the thing that is probably hasn't been talked about before, is the fact that I think this product makes a fantastic topper wax, if you like, without compromising what's underneath there. And it's a really hard thing to test at home, and it's a really hard thing to test at home and form an exact opinion on. And there are so many variables, like I mentioned before, and those variables can delve into the chemical format of what's underneath and what's on top and how long you're leaving them and all that. So it can get very complicated. It could get subjective. But for me, this product does not compromise your base sealant or your base coat hybrid wax or whatever you're using, and that's a massive advantage for me, because I like to put those long-lasting durable coatings on my car, and then I like those coatings or products, whatever you want to call them, I like them to stay on the car, okay? One of my biggest disappointments is when I make the effort to prepare and polish clear coat to a good standard and then put a product on. I don't want that product to be washing off after 2 months, you know, if it's claiming 7 or 8 months, okay? And sometimes I believe you can compromise what's under there by what you choose to put on top of it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always with any videos, I'm really interested in your opinions on this. Anyone that doesn't like it for any other reasons that I haven't mentioned, or if there's anything genuinely you think I haven't covered with this product, it'd be great if you could raise those in the comments sections, as always. So this was just a pretty quick review of the Chemical Guy's butter wet wax. I hope you like it, and we will see you shortly for more detailing content on the forensics detailing channel. Bye for now. So Reg, what are your thoughts on Chemical Guy's wet butter wax?
Well,
Right, start again.
just let me spit. I'm gonna. Yeah, sir. it is like absorbing it. So basically, what are you doing? Why are you laughing at me?
Reg, you just fucked that up completely.
What did I say?
Reg, hold the bottle up. What do you think about what's it called? What do you?
Carnauba.
Carnauba.
Let's start that one again. Ask me once more. It's got emulsifiers in it. So basically, is that right? What is it? Wax emulsion or repulsors?
What does it smell of?
Say lemony. It's lemony.
It's fucking banana.
Oh, is it? So it's really good.
What do you
Really
think
good.
about the smell?
The smell's good. It's
What does it smell of?
it's like bananas. It's really good. It is good. Yeah. Yeah. I highly recommend it. Go and buy it. Honestly.
Cut.
Yeah. You can cut that together. You can kind of cut that together.
Jesus, Spielberg would struggle to make that one look good, mate.